Alrighty, everybody. Hope you're having a great lunch. It is time for mid-Monday makeover, and I didn't give you a warning. I didn't schedule it. I didn't post about it. I've been referring to it, but we are going to do the s'mores look today, which is a very cool look, but again, it has onyx, which is our darkest color, so I have been practicing and practicing. And it's kind of funny because as of yesterday, I thought I had arrived on a pretty good look. And then today I saw someone, oh gosh, she must be a makeup artist. I don't know, but it was a Mary Kay video. So, sometimes consultants are makeup artists. Anyway, she had like a sped up tutorial, where like they do their whole face like in a minute. And I'm just like, I mean, she looked amazing. It made me kind of like rethink the whole thing because, the way she did it was just like perfection. But I really don't think I, can just kind of do that on the fly. So we're going to stick with what I came up with as of yesterday. So anyway, so the colors in the s'mores look are crystalline, which is a very light, bright white. And it is, I think it's our color with the most shimmer. Like back in the day, we called it a frost. Then we're using smoky quartz, which is a really fun color, and mahogany again, and onyx. So I will also work in some mid-tones that I'm going to kind of add to that. I used to think that was, I kind of thought like I could only use those 4 colors, but I've seen a couple other Mary Kay people in their tutorials add their mid-tone, and I thought, well, if they're doing it, I'm doing it. And here's why. When you use a transition color, it really helps to pull everything together, and as I've said many times, the colors in these fall looks don't really provide a transition color, and you need something that's typically matte, that is in like a flesh range to darker, so like in the flesh palette, but maybe like darker than that. So like hazelnut is not the color of my flesh, but it might be in that same palette, just several shades darker, and it's matte, and so that's something I can use as a blending tool. And that is not featured in any of these palettes, so it's been hard for me to blend and to transition from one color to the other. So I'm going to add that today, and we'll talk about why I'm doing that as I go along. So before I continue, I have to explain all kinds of things. First of all, I have my hair wet on purpose because I was trying to let it air dry curly. I've been having success with that, and then somebody suggested I use a microfiber towel to have even more, curl, and I'm like, that did not work for me. I feel like it just sucked all my curl out. So now I've got to come up with plan B. And yeah, I'm still deciding on these glasses. Everybody that I ask say that they like them, but I don't know. They just seem so enormous. So I'm not sure about that. All right, so let us continue with what we are supposed to be doing. So, and also I'm using a set of brushes from makeup artist Robert Jones. Bear in mind that I've been doing Mary Kay for, since God was a baby. And so I've got makeup brushes, from several lines that Mary Kay has carried, and I have makeup brushes from different makeup artists that we have worked with and that I've been trained by. Robert Jones is one of my favorites. And yesterday I had cleaned all of his brushes, and so I thought I'll use those brushes today. When you're working with particularly difficult colors, dark colors, something that you're struggling with blending, really make sure that your brushes are clean. That's going to go a long way. That's going to help a lot. So I'm just starting with just sort of a wide all-over type eyeshadow brush, and I'm going to put I think, is this Sandcastle? I believe it's called Sandcastle. I'm going to put this on all over. I did that before, and that's to cover up any possible discoloration that I have in my lids. Some primers have, did I put primer on? Yeah, I did put primer on. Some primers have a little bit of color, or you can also use like a cream eye color. to cover up any discoloration. But I am going to go ahead and use the Sandcastle. That's something that I heard from Lori Hogg, another makeup artist that works closely with Mary Kay people. But I feel like I'm going to have to move something. I'm too crowded. So this is just a very preliminary, just kind of a wash of color. And I don't always do this, but I think because, you know, these colors are like the most intense of the 4 different, you know, looks that we've done so far, that anything that I can do to help transition, to help blend, I am doing it. So anything in my arsenal is coming out today. And this is one of them. So this is helping to cover up, you know, if I have any veins that show or age spots, God forbid. But also, it's just kind of giving me an even canvas to begin with. All right, so I'm not sure what is different with my setup, but I just feel really squished. I'm going to put this over here. All right, so then after that, I'm going to use the hazelnut that I keep referring to. And I'm going to be putting that in the crease. And I'm going to use a long, tapered, blending type brush. These have looser bristles. And they're usually tapered so that it has like a longer tip at the end. And then that helps it so that it gets in the crease, but then it's also going slightly above and slightly below. You'll see what I'm talking about, tapping off the excess. And let's see, maybe I need the other side of my mirror. It's just, this one is a windshield wiper. And I've talked about how that doesn't always work for those of us with crepey eyes. But since the bristles are so loose and I am going back and forth, it works a little bit better than some might. And so this is the transition color. It's funny because it doesn't seem like much, but it makes a big difference. So just having this step right here, it adds a little bit of depth already. You can see how it's sort of emphasizing my crease. It's making the different sections of my eye, you know, more defined, but it will help me work with the different colors. And here's another little thing, like when you're in, if you need to deposit more color or work it into your skin more, you can kind of do like a circular motion. So I kind of do that at the end, back and forth. And we have a similar brush to that in the mini brush set, a similar brush to this in the mini brush set for holiday. So see how I'm doing that? Super easy. So these, at this point, you know, you really shouldn't see a lot of color at all. This is just very preliminary. Sort of like an artist covering his canvas before he or she begins. Alrighty. And I did prime my eyes before we started, for sure. Okay, now this is the real thing. I get all my brushes so I can see what's going on. Okay, so I'm going to, now I'm all like rethinking everything. Okay, I want to start with mahogany. Personally, when I do a look that has a dark color, I usually start with the darkest ones and kind of back up to the lightest. That you'll see that a lot with like with a cut crease. They'll start with the cut crease, which is usually the darkest color, and kind of do their highlight at the end, at the tail end. So I'm going to start with the mahogany, and I'm going to use another wide brush. Not super wide, but something like an all-over shadow brush. Okay, got in there, tapping it off. All right, so my thought is this. I want to do mahogany like in the outer corner, come in the crease, and I don't want it to be super dark because then I'm going to also add a little bit of onyx in the very outer corner. And then we're going to put the granite more in the first 2/3 of the lid. So I'm going to lay the brush down toward the outside because we know by now that wherever we lay the brush down first is where the biggest deposit of color is going to be. All right, here we go. Ooh. Wow, not only did I don't even think I got enough on there that time. Okay, good. So starting on the outside, coming in along my crease. So pretty much the same path that I did with the hazelnut, but now I'm going in with mahogany. And just because I have those other shadows, it's just like a smoother path. You know, I'm layering on top of shadow that's already laid down. So I'm going along there, going along that in the crease, coming back down toward my lash line. That made it much easier. So now I'm getting a little more, getting bolder. I'm adding more to my brush. And that is how you do it. Like you start small and you build. That's much easier. It's so much easier to add than it is to take off. That is definitely true. Always true. Okay. I'm going to get more on this outer third of my lid, the almond shaped part of my lid. So if you can think of my lid in sections, I'm doing this outer third with the mahogany, and then the rest of it I'm going to focus with the smoky quartz. Wow, this is blending. God is on my side indeed. And as we have discussed a million times, my lid hooded. So we're going to work that color up as high as we can. Just keep taking that same brush with the same amount of product and just kind of just sort of feathering it up higher. Notice how I haven't put like a highlight color up high yet. I haven't done anything with that. And ideally, you just want this to just kind of the color to gradually fade into oblivion so that you really can't see like where it stops and starts. That is always your objective. Not too shabby. Okay. Huh. Wow. All right. Now if we can do it on the other side, it'll be a miracle. So I feel like I've used, is this the second or third time we've used mahogany? It's really shown up a lot in these fall colors. Oh, speaking of fall colors, Mary Kay, the company, is like sold out of moss, the eye color right now. That was in the very first color look that I did, the autumn leaves. And I've sold a bunch of it, and I went to order it this weekend and it said sold out. I was like, what? But of course they'll restock it eventually. But wow, so these fall color palettes have been crazy popular. So get them while you can. Okay, the light on this side is better. I can see where it's laying down better. Dang, this looks good. And so far it's all matte. That's probably why I like it so much, because typically in my world, that's all I use is matte. This has been a real challenge for me to work with these shimmers. It's not my style. Not that I don't like how it looks on other people. I'm just not a fan of how it looks on myself. All right, now I need to work that up a little bit higher. This is the part that to me is complicated, is getting both of these eyes to look the same. So my eyes are just weird. Let's see here. Pretty close. Of course, that's me without my glasses saying that, but we're going to say, well, yeah, don't you think? Close enough? Maybe a little bit more right there. Famous last words. That is so me. I'll just do a little bit more. Then it looks like, you know what. All right, stop. Stop. Okay. Then I will put just a dab. I'll show you a fun trick. I think I've shown it before, but I'll show it again. Just going to take a dab of the onyx in the outer corner, just like a dot. Try to get it placed, you know, on the same height on both sides. And onyx is also a matte. So I'm sitting pretty so far. All right. And then I'm taking a slightly wider, looser all over brush because I just want to really spread this dark color. So I'm just taking this and I'm spreading that out in the outer corner. Just giving it just a little bit of drama out there. I'm going to line all over with the onyx, so I really officially don't have to put the onyx up here, but it does look pretty. And the more I've used it, you know, if you can control the amount that you're laying down and you blend it really well, it really does. You don't have to necessarily use it for a smoky look. I mean, you can use it with almost any colors that you have on, and you can just put just a dab of it in this outer corner, and it just adds just another dimension, and it's really nice. You could even like use it to transition from a day look to your evening look. You know, just put a little bit, you know, when you're freshening up your makeup to go out. Yeah, you can like really barely see it. It's really subtle. Okay, might even have to go back and put a tad more. Just an eensy-weensy bit more. So this time I just put some on my fluffy brush, just a little. I'm just gently laying it on there. Just trying to even it out. All right, I'm going to wipe it off any excess. Okay, this is getting in the danger zone. This is the Michelle Fox danger zone. Where I don't know when to quit. All right. Somebody stop me. Here we go. That's it. Yeah, good enough. Okay, done. All right, let's do some blending before I do any further damage. All right, now this is my biggest, fluffiest brush of all. I always have one that I use exclusively for blending. I really love this brush. And I really do a lot of blending in this area here. I just don't like any fallout in this area, and I want to make sure that there's no obvious, you know, start-stop point. I just like this to be really seamless in here. I don't bring it really any farther. I'm just right in this starting area because I don't want to remove what I just did. There is such a thing as over blending, and that's when it can start to look muddy. I know. Just when you think you got it figured out, blend. Oh, but don't blend too much. Oh, I know. It's so easy, except when it's not. All right, and then I just kind of do the edge out here a little bit. We'll come back to that later. Okay. All right, that's still kind of a work in progress. Okay, now I'm just going to use my finger for the smoky quartz, so that's pretty simple. Flip my mirror. So I just have that. Isn't that pretty? Super pretty. It's sort of it's a lot like moonstone, but I think it's a little bit darker maybe. But it's a pearly grayish. Um, it's really cool. It's a really fun color. And I'm just using my finger just to kind of pat it on my lid. Honestly, I don't know why using your finger works so well, but it just really does. Because when I use my brush, if I really pat it on, it seems like I get a little bit too much. And then if I, brush it on, I don't quite get enough. But when I do this, I get it, like just right. So I don't understand why, but I know that it's true. And it's just easy. And I'm trying not to get up into the crease. I want to just kind of leave that alone. I want this really just to be on my eyelid proper. I think we're good. What do you think? Okay, wipe my fingers off. And crystalline is brighter than this. It's like white, like I said. So we're going to put that. I'm going to use like a really skinny brush, like our smudger brush, right? I knew it last week, and now this week I don't. Smudger brush. Yeah, that's what it's called. Okay, and I'm going to use this just right underneath my brow, and then I'm going to do it in the tear duct. Oh, I figured this out last week too. Everything else, I start in the outer corner and come in. Up under my brow, I think it's best if I start in and go out because I've got hair that I've plucked, and when I go the other way, it's like I'm going kind of against the grain of my hair. And so I feel like it lays down, for me better if I go this other direction. I don't know that it makes a big difference, but since I've been working with these like frostier colors, I just feel like it just lays down better this way. Oh, for this one I'm using a sample. I don't have this in my palette. You can tell it's not coming off very well. Not getting quite enough on there. There we go. You see that? And then again right in here. Stuff like this really fascinates me, how just adding something in just kind of a small area can make such a big difference because of the way the light hits it. And if you could really see like what a small section of my eye is getting this, and yet it just looks like there's a big payoff because of where it is, where the light is hitting it, how reflective it is, like I said. I've learned a lot. I hope you've learned a lot. I've learned a lot. Oh gosh. Let me get more. And after doing all this, I have to take everything off because I'm doing a color party tonight, so that's kind of funny. But I'll tell you what, I'm real good at this. All right, let's see how even that all is. Not too bad. Okay. What do you think? I mean, it's out there, but that's the look it's supposed to be. All right, now I'm coming back with a real skinny liner brush, and I'm going to use the Onyx to line. And I'll do the top first, and I'm going to get real close to my lash line. I really want to start using false eyelashes. I think I've mentioned that before. And that was one thing that the person that I watched today do this look, man, she put on the false eyelashes at the end, and it just really does something. You know, it really finishes the look. If you're going for that really, you know, that big drama payoff. Sometimes I have worn them, but then I kind of feel like I'm playing dress up or something. Like I feel like people will be like, like, yeah, who do you think you are? But when I see other people wear it, I think it just looks so cool. So I just need to just do it. Okay, so I did top and bottom, and then I'm just going to kind of bring that out just to help me kind of finish off that outer wall. I'm going to bring this out. I just like to define where this dark color ends. And then I kind of feather that in a bit. It helps tie in my liner with my dark color. And I feel like it also just kind of finishes, you know, that edge. But I will go in again and, you know, smooth it out, or not smooth it, but kind of like blend it a little bit. It's so funny. Like I say, it's like that balance. Like you want there to be definition, but then you don't want it to be like razor sharp, you know, because then it just doesn't look natural. I never said it made sense. Oh, brother. You know what's funny is that I'm like the only person really in my family that was really into makeup. I don't know where it came from, but I've just always loved it. Let's see. And we're almost done. So how's everybody doing? I can see some comments, but you know, I'll have to read them in a minute. But so this, I think this is officially our last mid-Monday makeover, but like I said before, you know, we can discuss if we want to keep this going, because it's kind of a cool concept, kind of a nice time, I think. All right, so like this, you can tell there's not a real defined end point for my outer corner, so this needs some help. So this is where this, I think, kind of helps that out, in my mind anyway. Just kind of bringing that out, feathering it in. Something that I've been debating is like, I always hear not to bring anything out any farther than like where your eyebrow ends. But I've seen some models that, you know, have it come out like way out, almost like horizontally, and it looks really cool. And so, like I said, how there really are no rules anymore. So I've been kind of playing with that too, like having, you know, where that corner is, kind of changing that up. But again, because my eyes drag, you know, they're low, they're saggy. All those words are so depressing. I just have to be careful, you know, what the end result is. But it can be, I guess I just want you all to know that I give you permission to play with these things, you know, play with color and texture and placement, and get different brushes and have fun with it. I mean, it's makeup, for crying out loud. You know, you can wash it off and try again. So, all right, let's blend a little bit, and then I think we're good to go. So then by blending, like, so I have that, you know, that edge or that wall, but I just kind of do just a little bit of this. Oh man. I should have like not like a textbook, but what would it be? Like a little, a book of Michelle sayings, book of my vocabulary, because it's definitely not scientific. Okay, this eyebrow I think is longer than this eyebrow or something. Something's a little bit different, but I don't want to take up any more of your time. Maybe what I need is, here, we'll do a little magic here. You can always use your shadow to darken your brows. And I'm going to use it to lengthen my brow a little bit. For years and years, I just used shadow to define my brows. And I still will in a pinch. But now I just love our brow definers so much that I use them. Okay. Woo, looks good, I think. Yeah, what do you think? Do you like it? So right now I've got on chocolate nude, but I feel like I want to slap on something else. Let's try something bright. This one. This is Evening Berry. Yeah, I like it. All right. So I'm still running the special on the buy 4 eye colors, get the free palette. And I know that several of my team members are doing that as well. So talk to your Mary Kay girl and see what kind of deal she's got going on this fall, because I've got a feeling she'll hook you up. All right. So say hi. Tell me what you're having for lunch. Tell me what you love about this look. Let me know which of the 4 looks was your favorite. We did autumn leaves, pumpkin spice, cocoa mocha, and then this one is s'mores. So it's been fun, hasn't it? And let me know if lunchtime is good for you, or if you'd rather do an evening or maybe even a Saturday morning. So let's think about that. So have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching. Bye.